In March 2020, coronavirus put the world on pause. The economy crashed, the elderly and immunocompromised feared for their lives. Nobody was left unaffected. College students, who were supposed to be enjoying perhaps the best time of their lives, were thrown into limbo as individual schools decided how to continue their education during the pandemic. Different schools enacted different policies. Some had virtually no restrictions and were met with an outpouring of cases. Others locked down entirely, with significant detriment to student life. But what's the best response? What's the right balance between protecting people at risk and providing a good student experience for everyone else? Did Dartmouth strike that balance? That's what we're going to explore in the report card. In this segment, we're going to examine every facet of the Dartmouth administration's response to the pandemic and ultimately give them a grade for how they handled it. So how did Dartmouth really do? Going into fall term, the pandemic had hit a then all-time high, with cases regularly topping 50,000 a day. Some Ivies, Columbia, Harvard, Princeton, Penn, went fully remote, while Cornell, Brown, and Yale adopted varying degrees of openness. Prior to the new school year, there was significant confusion about what would happen.
So, specifically with Dartmouth, there was a great amount of confusion and anxiety amongst my friends with how the COVID policy worked, with uncertainty about arrival dates in the fall. And although I followed the testing procedures, normally people generally seem lax on it.
First-year students were understandably excited to leave their high schools behind and enjoy college life, but some weren't sure if having them back was a good idea. Dartmouth is a party school, after all, and parties were bound to happen, meaning outbreaks were bound to happen. But under pressure from the student body, the college made the decision to actually bring half its population back to campus. Different groups were given priority for different terms. Freshmen and juniors were given the fall, freshmen and seniors for spring. That said, Dartmouth had gone back and forth on things before, so students were still unsure about what to expect.
Really, we were all like, oh God. We were like, are they trying to cancel? Like, what is going on? And like, we were all because we just wanted to hear the good news. We wanted to hear, you're coming on campus, September, whatever, show up, buy your plane tickets. It was really like unnerving because for that week, I don't know, we had all put in our minds, we are going to campus, and at this point, I've been talking with all of my friends, like lots of people for almost 2 months, right? Like, I know these people, I care about them, I want to meet them in real life, right? I don't want to wait until January or March, right? But then the day, week later, finally came, and I think they extended it by 2 more days, and then they finally told us.
Until then, finally, in a community conversation in early September, Provost Helbel announced that yes, Dartmouth would continue to be on campus in the fall. It was a grace from the heavens, or hell, depending on your view of the administration. But regardless, those students who were invited to return were ecstatic to experience some degree of the Dartmouth community. This was college. 4 years of high school spent studying hard and grinding those applications to end up here. Ivy League, Dartmouth College. Sure, there would be restrictions, but it'll still be fun, right? If only it were that easy. To start, the administration sometimes struggled to communicate with the student body. Like cold maple syrup, decisions on everything arrived slowly, and didn't accelerate when term started either.
And I also think that the arrival date is something, or like the change of the arrival date was something that I had a problem with. Like, I understand the pandemic made things like even harder, but they always seem to leave decisions until the very last minute, which inconveniences a lot of people. And so one of my friends, she had to drive all the way from the West Coast, and it took her 4 days while she was taking classes. And she didn't have the opportunity to go to Zooms or attend any office hours because she gets motion sick, she gets car sick, and that's horrible. So for the rest of the term, or like leading up to now, she feels like she's like very, very behind in that, and I feel like they definitely could have handled that better.
Dartmouth definitely could have done a better job of communicating. So, for communication, we give Dartmouth a C-.